Today, we are going to be installing the oil catch can. Follow along. For today's install, we have the J&L Oil Separator Company. And this is what the oil separator or the oil catch can looks like for the 5th gen Toyota 4Runner. And it comes with these PVC hoses here. One is longer, one is shorter, as well as the bracket and the installation screws. Install should probably take maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It's not that hard. It's pretty straightforward. And the only tools really needed is a Phillips screwdriver and maybe a little bit of grease or dishwashing liquid to help fit the hoses on the fittings. Let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is remove the engine cover, which is literally just held down by a couple of these points here. One there, and there's a couple of C-clips back there. And it just pops right out there, that's it. And this is what we will be working on. This is where it might be a little hard to see. So the first thing we need to do is actually remove the existing hose. So we can see the front part here. There's this tension clamp there. We literally just squeeze it and pull the hose down. And then the other side of this hose is actually back. Let's see. It's actually back there. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but there's another tension clamp that needs to be pulled and removed right there. So I'm actually trying to take it out now. And there it is. Carefully remove the hose, because what we're going to use, we're actually going to reuse these on the new hose. So this was the way that it was on the vehicle. This was in the front, and this was the back side that we had a hard time seeing. So the longer hose, let me just zoom out a little bit. The longer hose will connect to the back portion, so we'll actually put that clamp on the longer hose portion, and then the shorter hose will hook up that clamp there. So it should look like this. We actually want to pre-install these prior to putting the hoses on, and now the hoses are ready to be installed. So I'm actually going to be routing this hose in the back of this bracket there, and it's going to just kind of feed it through, and we want to work its way to the front so that it essentially pops out right there, just like this. So it's just going right through there, and if you can see, let's see, there's this metal part here. That is where the L fitting will actually go over, pushing it down, and then we would slide the clamp over that. And then the other hose would actually hook up here, and same thing, we'd route it underneath to join this hose in the front. So this fitting is a little more snug. So this is where even the website recommends using engine grease or even motor oil, or in a pinch you can use dish soap, which I'm in a pinch because I'm not going to get any motor oil just for this. So I have my trusty Dawn here. I'm going to put some on this Q-tip and then apply it to the hoses. So I'm just going to apply some on the inside there, and then also right around where the hose will connect to, just to give it a little bit of an edge when trying to hook it up. Right, it's on there pretty snug. Now we just move this clip up to there to hold it in place. Check it. All right, so this is where we're at so far. We have both hoses. This is the shorter one and the longer one, ready to, well, this is where they'll be. Now we're going to install the catch can bracket. This bolt here needs to come out. I did forget to mention you will need a ratchet. 10mm bolt there, but because of this peg that the engine cover sits on, you'll need one that has a hollow opening. And we'll just remove that bolt, and that's where the catch can bracket will be mounted on. So we take this off, and this is a very easy install, guys. And if you don't know the benefits of having an oil catch can and how it actually helps preserve your engine so that it lasts a lot longer, because it's preventing the used oil blowback from re-entering the circulation of your oil, and it removes it into the catch can, and it just prolongs the life of your oil from your engine, I should say. And so now we have the bracket, and we're just going to put the bracket there and re-put on the screw that full disclosure, there I was trying to reinstall the bolt there, and it fell into oblivion, guys. Like, oh, I'm gonna find it. It's a needle in a haystack at this point, but that's just what happens. Welcome to my reality. I'm bringing you guys on for the journey. This is just err on the side of caution, and I do see it. If you want to see it, there it is, right there. So this is my go-to tool right here. Telescoping magnetic pole that's come to the rescue. I see it. Fishing it out. Okay, so found the piece. Now it's just a hand tight bracket is there, and the next step is to install the catch can underneath the bracket with the 2 screws that were provided. So before I install the catch can, what I want to do is just briefly explain for those of you that have no idea what this is for. So it was originally one hose that we took out. This one here. So the oil would come down through this hose, and any blowback would just go out the bottom, you know, and we basically replaced one hose with 2. That way oil will come into the catch can this way, it'll become filtered, and any of the junk oil or rubbish or blowback or particles or whatever will stay in the catch can, and only the good reusable part will go through the other hose back into the engine to be recirculated. So when we unscrew the catch can, this is what it looks like. So one part goes through here, it gets filtered, and then all the junk that gets filtered ends up dumping in here. So then you'll eventually have to unscrew the reservoir, dump out any of the junk oil here, and then at least you know that only the good reusable part of the oil goes back into your engine. And that's what prolongs the life of your engine. It causes less buildup, less stress on the engine over a long period of time. And it's really just taking this out and dumping it out every once in a while, and that is what this catch can does. It catches all the bad particles. And there it is. That's what it looks like attached to the bracket. I'm going to tighten that once I'm done, and we will hook up the 2 hoses to these 2 fittings here. So the longer hose that's hooked up to the back is what will go on this side of the fitting. This is the PCV hose line. And so I applied a little bit more dishwashing liquid inside of the hose and around the fitting, and then we'll just insert that on there snugly, just like that. So this is the PCV line, and this is the other line for the intake manifold there. So all the oil vapors will come through here, and then just the clean air will be blown back basically into the engine there. And there it is. And the reason why we just keep this loose is because you'll have to move this slightly to the side to get the hoses installed. And now we can tighten that bolt there, replace. So before we tighten, what we want to do is just position this catch can where it's not going to interfere with the cover. Even though it might touch it a little bit, it's not too big of a deal. Get it where we want it, and then we go ahead and re-tighten the bolt here. That's our catch can. Install is complete, and we just re-secure the engine cover there. That's it, guys. What do you think? You think this is a good investment here? It's out of sight, out of mind. You're not going to notice it. But it does make a huge difference when it comes to the longevity of your engine. So that's our quick oil catch can install. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Ryan from Riding in Style.
Yeah.